This video is about the issue of romanticizing mental illness, specifically what it is, how it started, its effects, and how to stop it. First, what does it mean? To romanticize something means to put it on a pedestal and make it out to be more ideal than it really is. In terms of mental illness, conditions such as depression and anxiety have been sensationalized. Many people view them and speak of them as quote-unquote interesting personality traits or quirks, when in reality, they're just as debilitating as any other disease or illness. So, when did this become a problem? In the 21st century, we as a society have started to combat the stigma and lack of education about mental illness. Mental illness has become something that is frequently covered in the media and often brought up in conversations. However, studies show that upwards of 55% of people still have poor knowledge of mental health issues, so many people accidentally idealize or romanticize them. It's not uncommon to hear things like, "I have to clean, I'm so OCD," or "I failed this test, I'm totally depressed now," neither of which are accurate descriptions of these illnesses and actually romanticize them. The media, specifically movies and television, also started to and continue to push a really romanticized narrative of mental illness to their viewers. One example is the show 13 Reasons Why, the story of a depressed teen's revenge by suicide after being bullied. This show taught that suicide is an effective means of revenge, which is a dangerous misconception and romanticizes the experience of people with depression, suicidal ideation, and victims of suicide. Moving on, what kind of effects has this had? As I've said, romanticization spreads misinformation about mental illnesses, as it glorifies and makes them out to be an interesting personality trait. This has minimized the struggle of people who actually have mental illnesses, and can also keep them from seeking help, because why would you want to get rid of something that makes you interesting? Faking mental illness is also becoming a more prevalent issue as an effect of romanticization, which makes it harder for mental health professionals to diagnose people and get them the help that they need. To prevent these effects, how do we stop this? When people romanticize mental illness, it's almost never malicious and just stems from a lack of understanding from people trying to break the stigma and be more open. So, when you recognize romanticized descriptions of mental illness in conversations, correct the misconceptions with peace and love to help them from being further spread. To make sure you yourself aren't romanticizing mental illnesses, don't be afraid to research or ask questions to people you trust. Not only will these things help clear up and stop mental illnesses from being romanticized, but it will also further help break the stigma.
Created using Powtoon.